So again, I am Tiana with TianaSmithCoaching.com. This is part 3 of the 10K in 10 days series that I've been walking us all through, and I'm excited to be sharing it with you. I titled it How to Make 10K by Christmas, but as mentioned, it's a 10K in 10-day plan for massive action without ads, without spamming people, and honestly, still in very part-time hours that you truly can have a guaranteed 10K result. Yesterday's training, or whatever day you watch it, and you can watch it on one day if you're watching the replay mode, is really important as we go into today. And today I'm going to talk about the sales qualification form that I truly believe everybody should have. I'm going to share with you a larger concept of it just briefly to share with you the possibilities of where you can get to if you have the money to invest in funnels. Also, though, a short form thing you can do today. I shared this template on day 1 that I shared for $100. Today also, I will just give you the heads up that the sales PDF is truly only available in my 6-figure club for today only. If at the end of the call you want the PDF, I'll give it to you for another 100. And so if you want to send me 200, you can have the notes from this entire thing, all the recordings, and the sales PDF, or you can just get your PDF today. But let's jump in. I don't want to talk about my sales call to action. I really want to share with you how you can qualify leads and get them onto a sales call, and then what to say on a sales call. And before I jump into the screen share and the PDF and the questions, and I also am happy to do some role playing. If anybody is brave, jumps on the chat and wants to role play with me, I would love to do that. So if anybody wants to start to think about if you'd be courageous enough to do that with me, I will still be the salesperson. I'm not going to switch it around on you this soon to do where you're the salesperson yet. But I just really want to get into the mindset again, because there is just too many bad terms for sales. Isn't it exciting to get a sale? So type in the comments like, I love getting a sale, right? Don't you get so excited to get a sale? When you open up your inbox, you get a paid invoice, whether it's automated or you sent it out manually. Raise your hand, put the $sign in the comments, or say, I love sales when you get a sale. Am I right? Now, why is it then when we switch our mentality to talk about sales that people get weird? How can you really open yourself to receive a sale, that invoice paid in full, or that payment plan, that new client that you've never met before, who saw you on Zoom, who saw you on Facebook, who saw you on Instagram? Pay an invoice, invest in something you put your heart and soul into. But then you're saying, and this is what I hear, I'm not saying you're saying this, I hear people say all the time, but I don't want to do a sales call. So what you're telling me is this is where you're stopping your money. This is where the money is stopping for most people, because you're saying you want someone who's never met you to just automatically buy that high ticket thing, that $2,000, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, and you just want to automate that process. My friends, that is not how it works. Anything $1,000 and above, you're going to need a sales call. Please stop listening to the hype. And don't you want to close it in any way? Don't you want to know who's buying your products? And if you're scaling large enough to multi-6 figures, maybe you get a salesperson at that time to even help you. Personally, I'm at multi-6 figures and I still do my sales calls. I have a system. I've got an automated system for leads, but when it comes to the sales call, I interview and I qualify people who are buying my higher ticket course and group coaching, because I combine those, because I truly believe, and this is a side note, I sell lower ticket courses, $297, $497. There's no one-on-one touch. There's no group support. If you are a person that is in a place that you can't afford to work with me one-on-one or in a group place, fine, no sales call needed. That's an automated payment. Those are still great automated payments. I like a $300, $500. I'll tell you though, I sell way more of my $10,000 packages, and there are payment plans I do offer. Now, why I'm going into this is this. You're saying you want someone to pay an invoice. You want someone to go to a checkout page and to close that high ticket. We talked a lot about yesterday. A lot of people had $2,500 or $5,000 packages. They only need 2 sales. So how do you get them on a sales call, and how do you talk to them to close the sale? Because a sales call is different than closing. So raise your hand if you are ready to let go of the weird word around sales because you're excited to make a sale. You're excited to have somebody invest in your program that you created, that you know you can get them a transformation. Put in the comments if you have something in your niche, and you can even put what it is, you know that you can get people a transformation. Amy was on here. I actually worked with her years ago. She really helped me with self-care coaching. I'm not sure, Amy, what coaching you're doing now, but you helped me a lot. And I hope I helped you. I assume I did, because all these years later, you're on a training with me. So we've had this long-term thing. And that only happened because we both jumped on a call together. And that makes it so it's personal. Stop being scared. I want to take away the fear, but you have to be open. You still might be afraid, but I want to give you courage. I want to give you empowerment to do it anyway, to say, you know what? I am uncomfortable. I am scared, but I'm going to get on the call anyway, and it's going to flow. So number one, I'm going to give you guys some questions that I think it's very important to walk through. I've worked with another top high ticket coach. He's done sales for the top ClickFunnels guys, the top trainers in the entire world. And he hired me actually too to help him with a funnel of his. And we talk though about sales, and I've had him featured on some of my things last year. And what we both came to terms with was, once you're good at understanding the questions, you can operate in flow. I personally did not get to flow where you can feel people out and really dig in without a script. So I just really believe in having a template. For example, in music, I'm a professional musician. So when I first was learning, what do you learn first? You learn scales and the simple basics. And what I'm teaching you are the sales and simple basics, so that you can start to then, once you know scales and once you're more of a master of your instrument, you absolutely can play in another key. You can play some notes, you can improvise. But I'm telling you right now, let it go that you feel the need to improvise. I'm going to show you today to go from A to Z of how to run your sales call for success. This is an exact formula that I personally, when I was doing network marketing years ago and had no idea, no training on sales, I heard a call and somebody told me that this guy's call got his sales up to 80%. And I said, you know what? Like, I was just trying to hustle, pay for extras for me and my little kids. And I was like, I'm willing to learn. And I literally verbatim listened to this podcast over and over. And I'm a fast typer until I typed out the entire thing myself. Okay. Then I went through and I circled all the questions that he said to ask. And essentially it comes down to the packages you offer, their goals in one hand, you put it together and you make the sale. So it's like priced packages that you offer. You're asking them about their goals, and if it's been the right fit, if you've qualified that client. Now, other things I learned along the way was qualification quizzes. And I do not get on a phone call with anybody unless they have filled out a quiz. I even have had clients I've worked with in the past fill out the quiz because I need to know where they're at. How fast do they want to get a transformation? What kind of budget are we looking at? I'm still always going to pitch the highest package. And many times when somebody's even said they only had $300, somehow within 48 hours, they had a $10,000 invoice paid. So I'm going to give you guys some skills today. These are skills that I truly only usually share with my very high ticket clients. But again, I wanted to bring this opportunity to all of you, and that I know that those of you who want to go the next level, I can help transform your life and get you to those 10K months consistently. And I'll tell you how you can do that at the end of this call today. But I feel like my work, my information I'm giving you speaks for itself. So before we get started, if you did not listen to yesterday's training, it is truly an essential one. It was a 30-minute one instead of an hour. And at the end of it, I challenged everybody to really make that list of 100. I'm assuming you're truly going for 10K, or you wouldn't show up during this busy season of holidays to come on here. So I'm encouraging you to end your year strong, to go for this 10K goal. You still have 10 days today till Christmas, and really just challenge yourself to do that. So please go watch that other training, not right now, later today. Anyone who's been watching this, or if you on the email list to get it, you can send me a message, Tiana at tianasmithcoaching.com. So let's jump into the training. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to share with you how to go through a very specific set of questions. And I really want you to close all other windows, put your phone on airplane mode, because you're showing up here. Let's be 100% present. Give me your full attention as I transform your life in sales. Okay. So Before you get on a call, I'm going to show you the quiz you should have. Again, I'm not giving that information for free. We'll have to purchase that, but I can give it to you. You can go figure it out yourself. There are certain pieces. I've already told you every single day why quizzes are important. And then the second part, though, very, very essential that, again, I've never shared this publicly, is my sales process, my sales system. It's my selling with soul system. I'm going to take you through my PDF. So who's ready? Put a number, $sign, put a level 11 in the comments, put 11 or a $sign in the comments, and we're going to just rock it really quick. And I'm going to make sure this is streaming over here too. Oh, it says I'm in offline mode. Let me take myself off offline mode just because I'm streaming. And I'm going to go double check that this is showing up before I jump in. Let's go see. Okay, it's on. Cool. Okay, so number one is a quiz. So what I did here, and this is the PDF I'm going to share with you guys. This is behind the scenes on where I train people step by step on this. So if you end up wanting the entire full thing, you can message me. But let's go to scalewithtiana.com. This is a 4-part funnel that I built using ClickFunnels. And why I'm sharing it with you, this is like the big shebang. If you were like, all right, I just want to go all in, I'm done playing small, I want to automate the pre-qualification process, put that in the comments. The pre-qualification process. That's what this is. It's a pre-qualifier. It means if you're working full-time or even you're taking care of your family or you don't want to be getting on calls with tire kickers who aren't serious, type in the comments that put the number 2. Like, who wants to waste their time with people who are wasting your time? I don't. So in order to do that, there's a boundary. Boundaries are super important to life, business, relationships. So what I'm saying is, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, because I am the one hosting my own sales calls, you have to go to scalewithtiana.com. And what I did was I pointed that domain name, which I bought, to my funnel. And then on the funnel page, and this is why it's so important, I talked about on day 1 with your messaging with social media, what is it that you do? And being able to say it in a sentence. So right now, as I want to talk to you heart to heart, thank you, Amy. I so appreciate it. And we'll talk about what it is you do. And also, just so you guys know, I would love for somebody to get live on the Zoom with me near the end of this call in about 20-30 minutes from now and do a sales pitch with me. Maybe you're even interested in my services. So I want you to be ready for that. And if one of you guys would be brave enough to do that, I think it would really help a lot of people. So, and obviously it's not pre-planned, and that's what makes it perfect. So over here, when I talked to you about this messaging, what I was trying to say here was, please make sure you have exactly what you do on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on everything. It's so, so important. And it makes it clear. So what I did was I did an under 5-minute video explaining who I am, what I do, who I serve. And a lot of times people don't watch it, but they're going to go to the next step. So here on the next step, and that's okay. I always make sure though, they can scroll down. It's about me. It's about what I do. It's testimonial videos. It's like the big shebang. It's a lot of work. Like this funnel alone is a 10K funnel, because when I work with my clients, like we have to get together testimonials. We have to, but it's so worth it, because what it's doing is it's automating your whole process. So instead of somebody being like, what is it that you do? You're like, you know what? I would love to share with you more. If you go to scalewithtiana.com, you can read more about me. You can watch some of my testimonials, and you can actually apply right there. You can fill out a short business quiz, and I can learn where your goals are, and we can jump on a call if it looks like it might be a good fit. You guys see what I'm saying? So here's what I personally do. And so this is a whole funnel process. However, there's a shortcut to that for your budget, for time, for this week. Like this isn't what you'd build this week, but I want to share the full one with you so you understand what the point of it is, right? So sometimes we go, okay, here's the point, here's the goal. And then we back it up and we say, okay, how can I do that today so that I can make some money? So that's what I'm going to do. Make sense? Everybody put a number 7 in the comments if all that's making sense. If you're excited and you're like, okay, this is important stuff and we're doing this thing. So over here, I'm going to share my screen again. And so what you do is up here, when you click on work with Tiana, what happens here is this gets automated to my email system. So they put their name and email in, and then not only do they go to the next page and they can fill out a form, but they actually also get an email sequence that starts like, hey, I'm Tiana, nice to meet you. And it starts to educate them, because what we're always doing is we're going to pound people with value, right? So somebody I love is Sabri Sibi. You probably heard me talk about him like nonstop, because I found some people who have this same business sense as me, and he's somebody who's gone further than me because wherever he's at in life for now, in his way, that's his goals. We all have different goals. And he talks about the same thing. You want to just like, maybe they don't get on the call, maybe they cancel the call, but you still have them in your email system. They're still a hot lead for you. And also, then you're sending them emails educating them about how do you make six figures in part-time hours, things like that. So whatever your goal is. So Amy said that she helps business owners and doctors specialists slow down and have fun without sacrificing professional success. So essentially she's helping them live, like, have the fun. They're working so hard, but there are a lot of people are throwing out their personal lives. So Amy's saying she helps these professional, these busy people, like, do more of a life balance to have more fun and enjoy their lives with all the money they're making, right? So she could say, if she had a form like that, she's going to ask these questions and she might put them on an email sequence like that's going to share with them some stories about other people, testimonials about people who were just like them. You see what I mean? This is where these steps are important. So let's get to the qualification quiz real quick. So then it takes them to this qualification quiz. Okay. And they're asking them, what services do you sell? What website? How much money do you want to be making? What have been your biggest challenges? How much do you currently spend? And any one of you that's in this niche, you need to be asking, because if somebody clicks zero, and you're going like, are they even willing to spend anything? And you're not prejudging them. You're still going to get on the call. However, how much are you willing to invest in furthering your business if you have ROI? I have another form I say that says zero. This means we will be rescheduling the call. Like, I'm not getting on the call if they say zero. I'm also not getting on the call if they click this one. I can't get on calls for like anything really less than a $5,000 spend. Sometimes $1,000, but not even usually. That's like a return client asked me for like an hour of my time. So if they click a lower one, I'm like, here's a course you can check out. If you are in a position to invest more, we can schedule a call at that time. You're asking if they know who you are, because sometimes I get messages from people I don't know if they're on my email list yet. So I'm checking this here. And then who are the decision makers? So why this is really important is you need to get a very good sense of who they are. And this also up levels you, because you're also positioning yourself in a leadership way, because you're like, I'm not getting on the call with you. I don't have the time for that. And honestly, friends, even if you had the time, you had 3 hours free a day for a sales call, send them the quiz. Say, I do have some time today, but I need you to fill out this quiz real quick. Because if they're not qualified for the phone call, then you could have spent that hour instead of talking to an unqualified person who just wants an hour of your time to get some kind of tip or advice. You're lowering yourself to that standard. So everybody put the number 8 in the comments right now if you're like truly committed to up leveling the kind of people you talk to, which means you need to up level yourself first. I was talking to somebody today about this. Like, they were afraid to walk into charging more because they were afraid they couldn't match that level. And I said, I get that. That's a valid fear. And it's something you truly have to go into yourself to say, am I willing to show up for these kind of price points? Am I willing to overcome some of my bad habits of whatever that is? We're all human. We're still going to make mistakes, but there's ownership and there's really showing up at a different level. So when you up your prices, you also need to up yourself. And that's where people usually stay away from that. But you can stay in a cycle of overwhelm and a hamster wheel hustle over here. You can up your prices, you can up your value, and you can show up for you and other people in a larger way and have a greater impact. So who's up for up leveling, going zero on excuses, and living at 100? Type the number 100 in the comments right now if you're just committed to a different way of being right immediately. Okay, so let's say they go on there, then they schedule the time. The next part that I do, and I'll just walk you through the full funnel so you can see it, because it's a very helpful funnel. I highly recommend it. It's not the first funnel I typically start with people. They usually need, we're going to say hi, yes, me, myself, and I. That's what you want. You want it high. You want it the 10K. You want to know they want to work with you. But I've had it where they put 500. They don't know for sure, and I still close a 10K. And that's what we're going to teach you. I'm teaching you, me, myself, and I, on the sales call. You guys ready for that? You want to take somebody who types in 300 and says they're not sure, and still on one phone call, you close a 10K deal? Type a 10 in the comments if you want that kind of information and power. Then on the next, this is the third page of the funnel. It looks like it all stays on one page. It's a 3-part funnel. This is where they would actually book in their call, right? So they're going to go there. They're still going to fill in their information. there's still a couple more questions because sometimes I'll send somebody this link and they schedule it. And this all comes through. So in my inbox, I get their quiz and I get that they scheduled. Now, if they're not qualified, I will go cancel their call. I'll email them first. And what I say, because I get this question a lot, well, what if they say they don't have any money? I literally say, we're rescheduling your call. Like, I'm not getting on a call. If it's 500, I'm not getting on a call. I will send them a link. I'll say, hey, listen, I saw that you clicked 300 to 500. I personally don't do sales calls for that amount. If you'd like a link to my magnetic marketing course, I can send that to you and you can check out, and you can check out how I work, help you make some money to be able to invest more, but sometimes somebody's been like, I actually have the money and I clicked that. So understand, sometimes people lie, or maybe they don't consider it lying. They consider it like they don't want to let you know they have the money. So it's a power play. It's okay. So since it's okay, it's not my preference to work with that. Fernando, like you, Fernando, it's most people I get on a call with. They say they're not sure. And it's subconscious power plays. Like, understand the psychology of humans. We don't want to overcommit because we're like, well, I don't know if it's a good fit. But personally for me, I will tell you guys this. Anytime I get on a sales call where I want to hire somebody, I already pretty much know I want to hire them. I'm seeing if they're like gonna ruin it on the sales call because I don't know them. And usually within the first 30 days, most people ruin working with me because they're not, like, they did do deceiving. So since I understand that I've been disappointed, I try to like really show up and be like, that's okay, I get it. Like, I've been there too. So I'm different though. So that's where I go with that. So, but you still want to ask the questions because you want to have the information so you can talk back to them what they're saying. Make sense? Number 3 in comments, if that all makes sense, if I clarified that correctly for you. So now let me show you this magical 4th page of the funnel. And want to get to a steady 10 to 50K with your coaching or courses in the next 3 to 12 months. Before we jump on a call, please watch this brief overview video to learn about which funnel package may be right for you. You can also download the PDF so you can check it out and make sure so I'm literally saying, I know you scheduled it. I know you have the quiz, but look, here's literally my sales PDF. And here's a 16-minute video. This is a longer one. I put the longer one at the end because they've already gone through this whole process. And I put testimonials and of real results, tons of my clients. This is just a few. That's not even like anywhere near as many results as I get. And then this is going to walk them through a screen share, what I include, how much it costs, great team members, all that stuff. I literally share everything. So when we get on that call, and if they try to say they don't have the money to invest, I will literally say, you told me you had the money to invest. You told me that I was a good fit. You're watching all my trainings. What's truly stopping you from doing this? And if they just lied to me, then I'm like, well, you're off my list. And then if they didn't, and it's just some other kind of thing, then I deal with it. But typically I want to lead with a pre-sell formula. Type that in the comments. It's a pre-sell formula. And it's incredible. It's helped my clients who didn't even have time for sales calls send the PDF and close their $2,000 sales of their course like that in a week. So if you're following it and if you're qualifying people, so that's it without it manually doing that. So I literally would say, hey, go to scalewithtiana.com. You can check out my video. You can apply. Let me know when you applied. Like, part of this too is follow-up. So I will tell you this before we get into the sales questions, it is follow-up as well. So I'm not just leaving it. Yeah, go to scalewithtiana.com. I wouldn't barely have any calls if I did that. So I literally am like, hey, did you fill it out? Let me know right now when you fill that out, So I'm always following up with people and making sure that they did it. Like, you want to give people that. So put that in the comments. Follow up with people that they even filled out your form. Follow up, follow up. Follow up. I mean, truly follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. If you believe that what you have to offer is worthy and what you're wanting to get people to a decision is in 24 to 48 hours. I don't have my calendar typically open past like a week. That's open. Sometimes I will schedule someone I know in 2 weeks out, but I'm not doing this whole month long. Like, I like to work with people who are ready to work with me. I figure they'll contact me later. I'm not usually filling up 3 months ahead of time, because those people who want to wait 3 months, they're not my favorite to work with because then they're going to be spinning their wheels at 3 months. And that means they're usually not going to apply what I teach them within 3 months also. I like fast action takers. I'm a fast action taker. If I know I want to work with somebody, I hire them on the spot typically. You know, when I hire my trainers, I'm like, okay, let's do this. I get my card out. Let's go. Let's see how we do then. And then if it's not working, it's not working. But when you commit to a 10K thing, it is different. There's contracts involved. There's the time it takes. And this is why having a funnel like that will up level your game. Does that make sense? So they're going to take you serious too. So it's not that everything's foolproof. It's not, it's just a good starting place that helps elevate you at a lot faster of a rate. Okay. So let's talk about the questions. Type in number 3 in the comments if you're ready for a sales call. So they booked the call, they're qualified, you're getting on the call. What do you say? Do you guys know what to say? Somebody put a 3 in the comments. Do you know what to say? Most people don't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. So that's what, let's go back to the very beginning when I talked about this. So let's do it. I would love for one of you guys to volunteer. Can anybody volunteer? Anybody want to volunteer? Otherwise, I'll just fake it myself. Everyone's like, we don't want to be on Zoom, Deanna. Oh yeah. Amy, are you volunteering? Or are you just ready to hear the questions? Let's walk you guys through the questions. All right. Amy's going to volunteer. So Amy, be ready. I would love to bring you on camera, probably in about 10, 15 minutes from now after I walk through the questions. So just be ready. Okay. So let's say somebody filled out the quiz. And actually, Amy, if you want to take a minute to fill out the quiz so I have it in front of me and I could repeat back what I'd say to you. So Amy, I'm going to send you this page in the chat. And let's go back a page, this one. And if you can go fill that out for a minute, it'll take you like 3 minutes. Okay. So what we do is I went into my 6-figure club back office, and what I did was I downloaded the sales call questions and templates. Okay. And what I teach in my 6-figure club, this is behind the scenes for you guys. I told you I was going to go behind the scenes for you, how to run your sales call for success, and then how to follow up after the sales call and invoice your client. Cause I actually have templates for the invoice process. Cause a lot of times people are like, well, what do I use? And I'll give you guys that information today. And I also have Google document email templates. So this is the kind of training when I teach people, just side note, I really believe in a different way of coaching than a lot of people teach because I really want to help people get results. So I think that most courses, most people don't finish them. So it's why I actually don't promote my courses. They're usually a backup plan, like on the assessment page when somebody says they don't have the money to invest. I've sold courses. I've had 30K launches with courses without much ad money even too. But what I've done a lot better at has been a hybrid approach of group coaching with my course as the template. And I don't look at my course as a course. It's video walkthroughs, whether it's to build a funnel, whether it's to teach you about a sales call. And I literally talk to you. The way I'm talking to all of you live right here is how I talked on behind the scenes. I'm like, this is how you run it. This is how you do that. This is how we do it. So it's going to be really fun. Okay, and Amy to host and panelists. Do you see the link now, Amy, by the way? Otherwise, I can shoot you a message over on Facebook real quick. And this is a part of like one thing that I love to do is to be active live on a call. I know not everybody is like a specialist at it, but I really do recommend getting really good at your computer and at social media marketing and stuff, because it's such a handy tool that I'm able to, let me try it one more time. Are you guys able to see that link? Now I sent it again, and let me see if I can send it directly to Amy. Okay, so let's go here. And now what I'm going to do is, and any of you guys can fill that out. Do you guys see how I did that? I'm not ashamed to sell my stuff because again, everybody put it in the comments. I love to get paid invoices, but put it in the comments right now. I love to get paid invoices. I love sales. So now we can start to take away the weird part about selling. Why? If you believe that what you have to offer changes lives, that's why I'm here. I'm saying I know how to help people make 10K in a short amount of time when they've worked all year and not done it, if they do what I say. So you guys better have that list of 100, by the way. I need to see it. Okay, so let's just go through the questions. So when you get on a call, this is the sales call. When you start the sales call, I'm going to walk you guys through, and then I'm going to bring Amy on, and I'm going to take you through this on the side while me and Amy talk, because I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, I might go off script a little. Don't go off script unless you know what you're doing. This is what I'm talking about. If you're not a master of it yet, this is important. So the goals, though, you're talking about is you're going to start the conversation. Everybody, can you guys see my screen? You're going to start the conversation with normal questions. Now, please put in the comments, understand this. When I understood that sales is actually about asking questions, it took all the pressure off me. I want you to understand this mindset before we get started. Selling the way I'm going to teach you is amazing. And it means that you could talk to an absolute stranger and connect with them. And that's why I actually love a sales call. And I actually love connecting with someone I've never talked to before, because I'm exploring. You're like a detective, and your only motive is that if you guys are a good fit, you're going to tell them about how their goals that they're going to tell you match one of your packages. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay too. It's a yes or no decision within 24 to 48 hours. So there's a couple things I really want you to highlight and take away from this, and you should put it up everywhere. You're getting a yes or no within 24 to 48 hours. That's what you're getting. You're getting a decision. It doesn't actually matter which decision it is. Yeah, we want the yes. A no is great too. It means you closed down, you asked the questions enough, you followed up enough that you got a yes or no decision. This is very important. And you want to emotionally detach from the outcome. It's not because people feel energy. So this is very, very important stuff right here. Okay. So you want to detach from the outcome, and you want to make sure that. So put it in the comments right now. You are getting a decision within 24 to 48 hours. Type it up. I'm getting a decision within 24 to 48 hours. Yes or no. Yes or no. Put it in the comments. Yes or no. And the second thing is you're asking questions and you're taking the pressure off of yourself, because it's, even if you're like, I need money, I have $10 in my bank account, I need a new client, I need to buy presents. That all might be true. However, if you bring that energy to your sales call, it doesn't go as well. And a lot of times it doesn't go anywhere. So you've got to learn how to be in yourself and be safe in yourself and be at peace with yourself, regardless of a yes or no. And that's why I said yesterday to make a list of 100 people. So even if it's a no, the first 10, you still can have that 80% close rate. What if you close the next 90 clients? Like you got 100 calls. What if you arranged 10 calls and the first 2 were no, but the next 8 were yes? You don't know that the next person, there's a great technique. Please listen to this. Before I jump into this, I want you to understand the mindset behind selling and the top things I've ever learned about sales. Another thing is a lady said, if you were in your backyard and there were all these big rocks, and at the time when I learned this analogy, I had a bunch of really big rocks in my backyard because there was a little drain thing. And so I want you to picture your backyard, and there's like thousands of big rocks, but they're big and you can just pick them up. And what if underneath one of them was $10,000? Would you stop if it wasn't under the first rock or the second? Like somebody told you, like, I put $10,000 under that rock. There's a rock out there that has $10,000. Would you not just go out there and just start to pick the rocks up? You're like, okay, next. Okay, that's one more, sort it out. And it could be 3 in, it could be 100 in. And the mindset truly has to be, I don't care how long it goes. I'm making that 10K, or I'm finding that 10K. You guys with me? Put a number 10 in the comments one more time. I really want to drill it in. If that helps you understand, this is the game we're playing. This is the game we're playing. It's nothing else than that. So you're saying, I'm going to go out there. There's this many people liking it, and there's this many people at different times who are ready to buy today. And just because somebody says no today doesn't mean they'll say no tomorrow or a year from now. That's another thing. I'm always respectful to people and loving to people when they say no for right now. Because I'm just like, it's a no for right now. And that's okay. Because I'm going to go to the next person who's a yes for right now. Because I need now money, but I also need money in a year from now. You guys with me? So I'm going to be respectful, and more than just money. It's what a good person does. I'm into being a good person. I'm into being a loving person. And I don't want to change how I treat people depending on how they pay me. Right? I just want to be me, Tiana, no matter what somebody pays me or doesn't pay me, because somebody treating me bad shouldn't change my attitude. Somebody saying no to me, and somebody saying no doesn't mean they're treating bad, but I'm being dramatic about that. You might have a boundary, but like if somebody says no, it's not the right time for them. That's okay. It means you're that rock closer to your next 10K. Okay. So let's go through these questions. And then Amy's going to be so brave and she's going to do this call with me. So you're going to start the call. You're going to get to know them if you don't know who they are. And even if you're reconnecting, and then you're going to be clear. This is boundaries. And this is where you could read it. You say, hey, we have 30 minutes to do this call. The best way to do this call is I'm going to ask you several questions to learn more about you and your goals. And you guys see, I'm going to read it verbatim because I'm going to try to keep to the script, even though I know I can go off the script. But I'm going to go through the script to show you how powerful it is just by itself. What I need for you is to be honest with me so I can give you the best answers I know to help you solve your problems and accomplish your goals. And you could also fill this in the blank. Like you could actually say to help you get to those 10K, 20K months, if like that's what they said in the thing, and accomplish that goal. Is that okay with you? So you're getting permission right here. So when down here, when you're asking these things, we're setting the tone. Type it in the comments. You set the tone. You take control. If they say yes, now the 5 questions begin. Is everybody with me? Type the number 5. You see this? It's very important. Okay. No more winging it. Winging it does not get you results. That's like going to the gym and being like, I think today I'm just going to like lift some things. People usually don't get results. People that are getting results in the gym usually have a journal, usually have a trainer, are tracking things. They're tracking their food. They're tracking their fitness. They're tracking their water. Am I right? In business, you need to track all these things too, if you truly want the results. 10K a month is a big deal. There's people who don't make that much in a year in some parts of the world. Do you see what I mean? It's a big goal you're going for. So we're going to treat it serious. Okay. So what goals are you trying to achieve? Now, even if they filled out the form, that's why I'm having Amy fill out the form. I'm going to take you behind the scenes on what my mind would think when I see the form, and then we're going to do that. And Amy, thank you so much for being transparent about it today. And I'll give you some kind of present. And if you decide to sign up with me, I'll give you a special deal for volunteering because it's very brave. Okay. Questions and connecting. What goals are you trying to achieve? And this is where you let them talk. Now, let me tell you something right now. Thank you, Amy. Well, I'm going to look at that form in a minute. When somebody talks, please write this down. This was a hard one for me and it totally changed my life. You're usually not going to say almost a word. You don't go down the rabbit hole with them. And I watched this every Sippy thing on this, him analyzing people that are on his team cold calling or just even talking to hot leads. He said the same thing. People that do top sales say the same thing. Okay. And this is what it is. When I ask that question, when they say that, I go, oh, okay. I let them go. I might ask a follow-up question, but I'm not going down a rabbit hole with them. I'm not relating to them. This isn't the time for that. This is a very specific thing we're doing. 2, what will that mean for you to hit that goal? So you use the words that they're saying with them. So if she says, I want to make an extra 10K per month in my business. Okay. I first say, what will it mean to you to make that $10,000? Picture it coming to your account. Like I might go down there. Okay. Then I ask, where are you right now? So you say you want to make 10K. How close are you to that goal? Sometimes people are like, I've never even made 1,000 a month, or like I've made 5K for months. I keep getting stuck there. It depends on the answer. Okay. So then I say, well, what's it going to cost you to stay here? Like if you don't do anything else, or you keep trying the things you're trying, what is that going to cost you? They're typically going to say, I'm frustrated. Like I've not been able to figure it out. Okay. So I might ask them add-on questions during this time. So then I say, how long do you want to wait before you make these changes? And if they're just like now, yesterday, I know. And these are very similar questions to the goal sheet. That's why I asked them. Now, again, you really want to share in detail, and I'm going to do that with Amy. You want to go in there. I'm going to have this open while we do this so you can see how I play this. This is vital because it forces them to identify the problem and how serious it is and how much they really need your help. And you're going to dig into every question, find out the real reason. Like when I used to do like fitness stuff and they'd say, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to get a size down. I'm like, okay, but why? Well, because I want that size pants. I'm like, well, why do you want that size pants? And it's like, well, because like that makes me feel sexy. And then I feel more comfortable with my partner. And then when I go out shopping for clothes, I feel really good about myself. And I really want to go on this vacation to Hawaii and I don't want to see the pictures of myself. Do you see what I mean? Then you're touching the emotion. And the same with the money. Well, if I don't get there, then I don't have presents for my kids. See, I've been there. Remember I told you guys on Monday, on the day 1, whoever's watching this, I've literally had it a couple different times since getting divorced that I literally didn't have a treat or presents for my kids like 3 days before Christmas. And I brought it in. And it was scary and it was sad and it was frustrating. And I didn't ever want to be in that position again. And so there comes a point where you're paying and the pain that you're feeling in your life makes you do the thing you fear to do, like get on sales calls, like be on this call with me. And awesome, because at any time we can change our lives. So I'm going to look at Amy's form and I'm going to invite Amy on. Amy, are you ready? I'm going to promote you to panelist. And then I'm going to enable, and thank you so much for doing this. This is going to be so awesome. I haven't done this in a while with people. Okay, let's say I'm going to do, hi, Amy. How are you? I'm going to make you a co-host in case we need to share your screen or something.
Hey, I realized you couldn't hear me.
I cannot. I can hear you now. You look beautiful.
Hi, you too.
Thank you. It's so good to see you. So for you guys to know, me and Amy met years ago. I think I just had a newborn and we both worked together and hired each other. She helped me with self-care and empowerment. I didn't even know what self-care was. I had zero boundaries at the time. So she was a pivotal person in my life. And some of her designs I did are still on Pinterest, and just a wonderful person. So thank you so much for volunteering. Let's hear for Amy in the comments. I'm like, if there was a crowd, I'd be like, all right. Okay. So let me open. I'm going to go find your form that you filled out. And do you mind me sharing all this with people? I'll try and
No,
delete.
I went through it quickly and
Yeah. I get it. I get it. Okay. So I'm going to share, and so it went through Calendly. So just so you guys know, I don't like to share my email, but I'm going to bring up the form. I'm going to try and make it bigger. Let's go here. Okay, cool. And then I can kind of close out the one. And so what's really cool, why I was sharing the first part for any of you who have the bigger vision of things, is like this all got automated to my inbox, which is really helpful, right? Like rather than chasing people down or asking questions over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, Amy, and talk to you at the same time. So when I get an email like this on my inbox, just to let people know, I'm going to delete all these other things because I'm sharing all my screens now. Okay, let's do this. Like all this stuff that I have open. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about the screen share today. Okay, let's go over here. Tiana's a human being. You're welcome, everybody. I don't have an admin assistant over here yet, so I'm doing it myself. Okay, so I would see your personal information. What is your business? She's got one-to-one in group. Here's her website, amyengelmark.com. You guys should check her out. Back to 10K consistently. Changes during COVID, stepping into new levels of financial mindset. I get that. So 500 to 1,000. Did you test me on purpose with this, Amy? 300 to 500 a month. It's fine. And then I'm not sure what I can. So, okay. So what I typically, so I'll be honest, when I see this, and then I say, and a domestic partner, here's how I'd usually handle that. But Amy's been kind enough to play. So we're going to handle it a little differently. But here's what I do. I'm going to do this up here for you guys. I would say over here, I usually have a template and I'd say, hey, Amy, and I usually have this templated somewhere. So I'll grab it for you guys if you want it. Thank you so much for applying for a free biz strategy call to 10K months with me. Also, side note, guys, name your strategy calls the result of what you want them to hire you for. I would love to connect with you. However, I have a few questions before we begin. I noticed. So this is where I typed this up. So I'm just sharing with you guys that I would typically do that, but I'm not going to do that right now because Amy's being super brave and awesome. So Amy, I'm going to just take you through the questions and focus more on the goals, right? And at the beginning, I would say, since you said me and a domestic partner, I might say something like this, like, Amy, hey, I'm so excited to get started. So let's walk you through the questions and then I'll show you how I'd handle the partner situation when it comes to investments. Cool. So this is a little ad lib, but I'm still going to follow my method for everybody. Okay. So I'm going to reopen this file. So I'm going to go here and do this at the same time. Okay. So what have you been up to, Amy? You're still in British Columbia. How's the weather today there?
Stormy. So we bought on the ocean and it's pretty wild and fun.
Awesome. I love it. What is is it Celsius? Like how cold is it there?
Oh, I'm going to guess maybe 5 degrees
Celsius.
Fahrenheit.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm
Yeah.
going to look it up. I do like to do this. And you guys, just so you know, everything I'm doing right now from here on out is exactly what I would do on the call. So I'm not going to explain it anymore because that'll be annoying. So I would say 5 Celsius, 2 Fahrenheit. Okay. I want to see just because I'm curious. So it's like 41 Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's warm here today. Okay. And then, so before we get started, is there any other thing? I know I got your form and everything. Is there any other thing you want to just tell me what's going on in your life and in your business and why we're connecting again? I'd love to know, just in your own words.
Sure. Well, I love sales like you,
Mhm.
and I love growth, and I love helping people like you. And one of those, like that biggest people group, obviously, is my clients. And I love to have more and more learning under my belt to be able to share with them. So that was the biggest reason that I hopped on. And then um, I really like who you are. So obviously, I like playing and role playing.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, we're doing it. Okay, so we're gonna assume I'm gonna always go high ticket, just so everybody knows. My mindset before I get into the questions is I will always go high. It's the same psychology that if you came home from Target and your spouse asked you how much did you spend, and you said $350, and he's like, "What in the world?" Or she like, "What did you buy for $350?" Now, here's the difference. If you came home from the store with and told your spouse, like, what did you buy? How much did you spend today? And you said $1,200. Like, what? What did you buy? Did you get a TV at Target today? Like, I'm totally joking. It was only 350. So this is how we roll, friends. It's psychology and it works. And I don't mess with psychology and manipulation in my sales, but understanding there's certain things that are still just kind of fun to play with. So, okay, let's do it. So I'm going to go through the questions instead of the impromptu way I would usually do it, because I've done this for a long time. So here's where we're going to start. Okay, Amy, let's get started. So right now, we have about 10 minutes to do this call. And the best way to do it is I'm going to ask you several questions to learn more about you and your goals. And what I need you to do is be honest with me so that I can give you the best answers I know to help you solve those problems and see if we're a good fit together. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool. And also because this is going to take longer, I need to text a client.
And real life.
And side note, she will benefit from this call though. So here we go. So, okay. So what goals are you trying to achieve? I saw your form. What's really going on in your business? What goal are you trying to really reach for right now?
Probably greater group enrollment in a new program that I'm just launching in January.
Okay.
And it's starting to feel like what feels like an already high private coaching rate is
Mhm.
feeling like, oh, there may be wiggle room in the near future to go even higher, but that's a new feeling.
Okay.
Um, yeah, probably those are my two biggest goals. I'm feeling like I need to role model the great balance and energy and joy for my clients, and I've got that. So it's not really freeing up time; it's just increasing income.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. That's a good place to be. And then how many students are you looking at to hit that goal? Like, do you know your number that you need?
Well, even with 6 people in my private group, and right now there's 3 to 4, and I'm almost positive it will be filled. I just don't have the other people committed yet.
Okay.
Um, so that I worked it out the other day. If I filled that program, and then I also have a smaller group program. Um, but if I just filled the larger group program, the higher ticket program, and then had maybe 2 more private clients than I currently have, I'd be hitting my goal. So
Okay.
it's pretty easy to be able to do that. I think I included another launch, Tiana, in September for the same programs. It's a 6-month program.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would talk more to you about that on a strategy and price point then. So what will it mean to you? Let's say you hit the 10K goal, you hit those numbers, whether it's the price point you're at or now, but that 10K goal you're talking about. So what would that mean to you?
Um, Probably the first thing is just proud of myself.
Yeah.
Mhm. And loving the peacefulness of consistency.
Yeah. There is
Mhm.
a peacefulness to that. It helps. And then where are you right now, like close to that, if you don't mind sharing that? So and you can make a number up because we're live, or you can just be real. So where are you as close to your 10K goal as you'd like to be? Like, if you look back over the last few months, like how close?
Okay. So it's been steadily increasing over the past 6 months because I've been really working on my money mindset and had some big spiritual and financial perspective shifts in that period of time, which is probably the biggest change
That's awesome.
in my income. And so you're asking for the breakdown between where I'm at financially versus where I want to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too hard to get to, but it can be, staying there for a long time. I've had it happen myself where there's a lot of caps we all go through to get close to that goal. So thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. So let's say you stay right where you're at, the amount of work you're doing, the income you're bringing in, let's say nothing did change and you kept at that level. Like, how would that feel? What would it cost you in your life to stay there? Like, what would you be missing out on, whether it's financially, emotionally, or your time?
hmm I feel like the biggest thing that's calling to my heart is the freedom to give more money away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to give back and time too, right? Because it's all that.
I feel like I'm quite generous with my time in giving
Yeah.
back, but I want to be more generous with our money.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. And why I say the time though, I'll circle back to that because I can, is because when we make more with the time that we do have, we also do just have more free time. So whether you want to spend that with your family or by yourself or out by the ocean or with others. But yeah, having the financial give back is incredible. And then we can compound that as well. So that's important.
Yeah.
And then though, I would like to know, let's say you hit the 10K a month, what would that mean to you? Like consistently, you're looking back at 3 months later, you've worked with me, I helped you hit those goals. Like, what would that mean to you to look back and at least made 10K to even 15K per month the last 3 months? Like, how would that make you feel? What would be different in your life?
Well, it would make me feel kind of like more proof to the belief that I already have that it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and what would it change?
Yeah. Something fun too. You can be fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like 10, 15K rolling in and working the hours you want to work. And like, how would that affect your life? Like, are there things that you want to be doing or want to be giving? So how would that change your life?
hmm Yeah. So we were just in a really awesome surfing town in Tofino on the west
Okay.
coast of Vancouver Island. And um, it comes back to giving. So, like, I saw this really fun after surf, like, full body towel suit that my brother
Mhm.
would love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And just freely buying.
Yeah, freely
Mhm.
buying is amazing. Like, yeah. I love it. I think sometimes like and as you guys are noticing, sometimes I will expand on this to deeper connect, but it's along the lines of the questions I'm giving because we want to be human, we're not robots. And I'm relating to what Amy's saying. I'm remembering like when I've not been able to buy the things I want to buy for people I care about or even a stranger, whatever your heart calls to. But I think it's okay to have fun. Our life was meant to be lived in pleasure and in fun as well. It doesn't need to be so serious.
Mhm.
I obviously get serious about this. So, how long, Amy, do you want to wait to have that change? Like, when are you wanting to get started on a strategy that works to get you to those 10, 15, 20K months?
Well, I had just started off with 10, so I really feel like um, I'm
Getting to
gonna
the
be
10.
I'm gonna be getting back there. Um, well, how badly do I want it? Like,
How
Yeah.
long do you,
Oh,
how long do you want to wait to try to hit those strategies? You've been doing your thing. We all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Whenever I'm looking to go to the next level, we're on a call. Like, how long do you want to wait to start maybe something different that'll actually help you hit that faster?
yeah, for sure. January would be.
Okay. I mean, in a couple weeks. Cool.
Yeah.
So now here's where I'm going to go to the close, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys on how I would handle this. So I will tell you, I sense pushback from you. So if I was on a call, and I'm saying this behind the scenes, now you're on the spot. So it's hard to really, the energy is going to be a little bit different because we're screen sharing and I'm going through a script that I would usually flow through. But I followed this script for you, Amy, for everybody watching. This is the script I would have beside me. And again, if you're going deeper with them, I didn't go down a rabbit hole. I'm asking further questions to get to the heart of what giving back meant to you, because I didn't know if it meant charity, orphans in Africa, or if it's your brother. Like, I didn't know. So I want to know because I actually care about you. And this is a part of love and giving. So when I talk about 10K and it's pretty easy to get there, I can't believe that's the absolute truth. This is thoughts I'm thinking in my head because I'm like, if it was that easy to get there for you, then you'd be there. So I'm looking at how can I truly, honestly help you get there? You see what I mean? And I do have a strategy that would work. So this is where I would do this. I'm going to take you through this. And Amy, you can ask me any questions too. I'm really finding out the real reason, right? I'm not talking after except to ask more questions. Did you notice that, Amy? I mean, I'm sure they do on the comments too, but you and I are talking now.
Mhm.
So here's the pitch. And you want to always say the investment. Okay. And so this is where I'm going to bring up money because I'm going to hit it straight on the nose instead of wind around it. I'll say, Amy, listen, I know when you filled out that form, you said 3 to 500. Clearly, you've been following me for a long time. I talk about my 10K packages and 5K minimums. So I can totally help you hit that 10K goal. You're going to hit it faster if you work with me one-on-one, and I can help you get that. Now, this will depend on your budget, but I'm going to tell you about the inclusive program that would help you actually hit that faster. And we can get you a return on investment. Okay. So that's where we work together for 8 weeks. That whole sales call qualification funnel we talked about, we'd build that for you. We'd gear it towards those high achievers. That is your ideal client. We're going to get you a video. We'll grab some testimonials. I'm going to build it all out for you. And we're going to automate the hot lead portion of it. And then I'm going to teach you step by step how to really hold yourself in a different way on social media that's very clear and defined and helps you grab those clients. I do this through a funnel process that we would customize, as well as through weekly one-on-one Zoom calls and daily tech support. Working with me over those 8 weeks is $10,000. And I do have a pay in full 8K plan, or we can do a payment plan.
Bang, bang, bang.
Now, this is where I'm silent. I'm silent. So Amy, just be honest about your thoughts right now. If you're like, okay, 8K pay in full, 10K with the payment plan, are you in a place where you're thinking 2K a month for 5 months? Or are you in a place like that's so out of the question for me? Why don't you be honest with me?
Okay, well, where I was at was my mind was trying to grab your numbers because I'm set
Yes.
to, like, I grab the info, then I write it down. That's my
Yeah.
process.
Do you want me to share my screen and show you the PDF? And now, just so you guys know, I would take way more time right now, but I literally have 10 minutes because I have a client call.
Yeah.
But what I would do, let's say we were in a rush. Let's say both of us we were doing this impromptu thing, like what we're doing. So I'd say, okay, so you're considering it. How about I do this, Amy? I have a few minutes later this afternoon. How about I do a screen share custom to you, to your links? I audit your space, just a gift to you. And then I break down which program I think would work for you and send you an estimate in an email. And then if you have questions about that, we can circle back to another Zoom call. And if you would like a different package or payment plan, those are totally options that I can help you with.
Right. Sure. I'll take you up on your gift for sure.
Okay. And then let's play devil's advocate. I hate that term. Let's say you're just like, I just cannot do that amount, Tiana. Like I told you, it was $300 to $500. So why don't you go ahead and say that? And that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's just too much for me for 8 months. I mean, 8 weeks, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So, what I also offer is my six-figure club group coaching program. And so, starting in January, those price points are $1,000 a month or 5,000 pay in full. And that's a 6-month mastermind access. You also get a monthly 1 hour call with me. You get daily text support. You get all my systems, all these things I'm talking about. And so, you can pay in full and get some extra bonus one-on-one coaching with me that I can break down for you, but that's only $1,000 a month. Is that more along your price point of what you'd consider investing in to help you get to $10,000 a month?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about when I send you the Zoom audit, I'll send you both options and I'll take it through and I'll send you a PDF, which has them both side by side. And then we can circle back. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Side note to everybody. When is a good time to talk to you? Do you have time later today at 3 p.m.? What time is you're in Pacific time zone?
Yeah. What are you in?
I'm in Central. So I'm free at 2 or 2:30 Central, which would be 12 or 12:30 Central, or I'll make you a video and we could circle back tomorrow morning.
Yeah. My day today, I have a client right at that time. So
Sure.
that won't work today.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll make you the videos, I'll send you the breakdown, and tomorrow morning, which time would work for you? Do you have a block of time you're open tomorrow? You're being so fun and coachable. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Before 12, before 11:30, my
Okay.
time would be best.
Okay. So that's the 16th. Let me look at my calendar really quick. And then what I'll do, Amy, because I know you filled out your email. How does let's see, how does 8 a.m. Pacific work for you? Or I
How
could
long would the
do
call be?
just like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe less. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email invite right now with a Zoom link in the next hour or so. And we'll set it for 8 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. We'll circle back 15, 20 minutes. You let me know any questions. No pressure. Just view it. And if you didn't even have time to view it, we can walk you through it. But I am excited.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good? Okay. So for any of you on here, let's all hear it for Amy. If anybody else would like to ask any questions, I actually have 10 more minutes. I asked for a thing. So Amy, do you have any questions? Because you get first dibs, because how I know that that's a little awkward because we're back and forth. It flows a lot better. Like tomorrow when we chat, we're just going to chat face to face. I'm like coaching and sales calling. But yeah, there's some things I do want to point out before even anyone asks questions. One is notice that I did follow through and made sure to circle back. 2 is when you say the investment, you really want to be silent because it's not a prove yourself time. It just is what it is. Right? That's just, it is what it is. I have clients on here who have paid that, who are on this call. I don't discount my services privately. I just don't discount. I have lower ticket options if somebody can't afford my higher ticket options. Right? See that? So that's really exciting also. And then the other thing I want to say is get your times always. This is where I think people fail. They've done the sales call, they pitched the thing, they've got the email, and you got to get that decision within 24 to 48 hours. I'm traveling Friday. I'm ending I'm booking out the end of my sales year, right? These are tax write-off season for us Americans. Like I'm on a timeline. So, and even if I wasn't on a timeline of the end of the year, again, I'm like, let's chat, let's wrap this up. If it's not going to work right now, or the higher one doesn't work, we could at least get you in the 6-figure club. I'm just always like, what works for you? And if it ends up just being that you want this course that you want, my funnel course, and you want to build it yourself, I'm okay with that too. Because I just want you to win. I want you to win for today. And my win is getting a yes or no. That's my win. A yes means a price tag is attached to that. A no is still a win because I got a decision. That cool? Do you have any questions for me? Because you're on here. And if any of you guys want to join on our Zoom call for a few more minutes, just put it in the comments. I'll bring you on camera too.
Something I do sometimes, and I would love it if this is something that you'd be open to. Something that I do with my clients when I'm on a sales call is I'll wrap up the time with them. We put it in the calendar, and then if I have like 5 minutes left, I'll say, hey, let's jump into getting you a solution or
Yes,
giving
I do
you
that too.
right. Right.
Let me give you a solution.
Right. So I heard you say when I talked about fill the group high ticket program
Yes.
and 2 more private clients and I'd be there.
Yeah.
I'd be at my goal. And you said, I have another strategy.
Yeah.
Can you share part of it or
I
what?
absolutely can. I have a few minutes here. Let's do it. So but I'll need you, don't give me explanations or I won't have time to give it to you.
Sure.
So tell me how much you're charging for your group coaching.
1,000.
For how long? A month?
6 months.
Okay. For 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 for the whole 6 months or 1,000 a month for 6 months?
1,000 a month for 6 months.
Okay, cool. Do you have a pay in full program for them, like a 5K so you get some more pay in fulls?
I don't.
Okay, so that's one. So if you sold 2 of those a month, that's 10K.
It's not an ongoing it's not an open registration.
And that's what I would also change. I don't believe in launches. What I truly believe in is truly a whole program that encompasses the core of what it is you offer people and to always have cart always open. Launches are exhausting. They also require that you have different groups. And honestly, until you have a group filled where it's super high impact and has a lot of people in there, and then you can even get a VA to help you if it's past that point, which would probably be 50, you can fill that thing and just, if it's your core work and you have a system to what works, like I do, and I know you do too, you've been doing your business long enough, then instead you're like, okay, it's this much every 6 months you're billed, but you can stay in there because it's more of a program like that. So that's without going deeply into it. And I'd be happy to talk to you more about that too tomorrow to give you those steps so that you're like, I know what you're doing. And I'm always happy to give that coaching. And I'm really glad you just said that. So let's say that you did 2 a month and you're like, I just need to close 2 group coaching clients, pay in full a month. Or if it's not pay in full, then that means you're going to need to either close some higher ticket clients to hit your 10K monthly. But the cool part about what you're doing in that case is you're getting some residual income coming in. So let's say that you had, even if you got 10 a month, I'm getting my calculator. If you did 10 a month, or just paying the 1,000 a month, that's your 10K, which means you need, like I don't know if you got to watch my other trainings, you probably need 20 sales calls a month then to really close that. But the truth is, what's your high ticket pricing for one-on-one?
1,700 a month.
Okay. So I would probably reprice that as well because I'd want it higher than your group by at least probably times 3. So let's say you're charged 3,000, or you just said it's 6,000 for 8 weeks or 5,000 pay in full. See how I did that? So I usually like simplified price points and I like pay in full plans, and then they could switch to maybe a monthly container. That's 2K or something, but they have to complete this prerequisite. So I have that for my clients. It's 10K, 8K in full, and then we can switch to monthly. And a lot of clients do with me. I have a handful of clients that are monthly. It's a lower price point because I already worked with them. I already know I like them and it's easier. And I already did their done for you work. Okay. Yeah. So let's say that you got 2 of those a month and you're charging 3K or 5K in full. So now I've given you a strategy that's 20K easy, working less, and really simplifying your whole process. And really, it's just a matter of belief and attracting the right clients, which is the strategies that I would teach you during our 8 weeks together. But it's a better business plan guaranteed.
You're awesome.
Thank you. So are you. I like simple. I like the same numbers. I'm like, it's 1,000 or it's 10. I like whatever. Like I like simple. I like easy because I'm like, you don't get to talk to me one-on-one unless it's that price point. And that's what you get to say. You want to talk to me one-on-one? It's this price point. And otherwise you can be in my group. And if you don't want to be in my group and you don't have 1,000 a month, then you can take all these amazing free plans that I give the world on a weekly basis. Because did I not, over the last 3 days, give incredible value that anyone could truly go make 10K? They can. If you watch every video, I map it out. It's just a matter of people are going to do it. Now, I understand that people need accountability. I'm still selling. And this is what you should say too, because this is a sales technique for everybody. Everybody knows, NLP, that we all need accountability. When I want to change my nutrition, when I want to change my body, I hire a trainer, I hire a nutritionist, and I have somebody looking at my food daily. So what I'm going to help you do is I'm going to help you actually get there. I understand we probably have the techniques. You've even taken some of my courses in training, but look, let me help you get there faster. I will take you hand in hand. And that's what you're going to say to your clients. That's usually in the objection phase. And it's okay. That's a lot of money for all of us. And then I know I'm talking to people who haven't hit their financial goals. So I understand that I'm not here to manipulate that. I'm here to say, like, truly, if you do what I say to do, you're going to hit it. And I know that, I know that, I know that I do. The real fear is you or whoever you're talking to, your client, that if they believed, and everybody should write this down. This is what Sabri Subi says, and I'm ending on this because I have a call in 2 minutes. Is Sabri Subi says, if the other person really believed what you were telling them, they would find the money. And I think that's 100% true.
Me too. Thanks so much.
You're so welcome. You're amazing. Thank you to everybody. Let's hear it for Amy, and message me with any questions. Amy too. Everyone knows me and Amy are talking, and go check out Amy. And like, seriously, please go give her some props, some love on her post. She truly delivers amazing value to the world. She's helped me in my personal life. So I just want to esteem her for being brave, for being amazing at what you do, and for coming on here. And anyone can reach out to either of us for our packages. See you later. Bye, Amy. Bye, everybody.